Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Snack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It's going to be beginning on MLG Shakuras Plateau. This best of 5 is tonight's finals in the Novice Arena tournament. We're going to be watching AppleJack and Goku fighting it out, battling it out for tonight's prizes. I do want to mention that the winner will take home $2.50, which I know is not tons, but that's what we got for coming out of pocket here, right? As well as we do have a fairly substantial prize on the other side. It is going to be an hour's worth of training with Art of War's Niter. So good stuff there. Niter is a phenomenal player. Let me just send you guys his link out on the live stream. If you guys want, anybody who played in the tournament can get lessons from him for $10 an hour. If you haven't played in the tournaments, then they're $20 an hour. That's his standard rate. But good stuff there. So go check out Giraffe. He did change his name to Niter, so I assume that he's probably going to be changing his website here one of these days. But that does cost a little bit of money, so it is what it is, and we'll get you guys set up regardless. But Goku is going to be our purple Zerg player in this matchup, spawning down here at the bottom right-hand position. Bottom left hand, we do have AppleJack, our red Protoss. These guys are in fairly close positions by air. Notice that it looks, oh wow, AppleJack is going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand on this map, which I really like. I like this play quite a bit. And you can see, I mean, this is really high level play potentially. You know, so I like to see these guys in Bronze and Silver League going ahead and trying these strategies out. We'll see how his execution is now. It does take a little bit of finesse to make this happen appropriately and to be able to pull a win off of a Forge Fast Expand. But he appears to be executing it fairly well right now. So we'll see what he's got for us here in just a moment. Needs to be down there building something, that's for sure. He is not building probes right now either, which is not good for Forge Fast Expanding. So okay, well, going for Nexus at 15, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's okay. He'll probably be okay considering that it is a fairly large map, but you've got to be careful here. He is going to have this photon cannon down in pretty late timing there, so pretty late timing. Notice that we do have metabolic speed boost on the way, as well as, guess what, Zerglings. However, they are not out soon enough here from Goku to make it across the map. So I think all in all, AppleJack made a nice play there. However, I would be more careful and base that on scouting alone if you're going to go for your Nexus first, especially at 15 supply like that. So interesting to note there. Most of the time what you'll see people do is go to 18 if they're going to go Nexus first. 18 probes and then Nexus. But all in all, seems to be pretty good. He does need to work on this wall off, however. It is wide the stink open, and that could be a potential problem for him. Yeah, I'd say a potential problem. Uh-oh, we are going to see a little bit of a cannon rush here at the back of this natural. Notice that this is Goku's fault. Goku's fault, all right? Is going to be putting his hatchery down, but does not have the vision here soon enough to know. You always camp your Overlord right over top of this hatchery so that you have vision. The hatchery does not give you vision around, you know, Elite doesn't, only gives you vision to like right here. So he's not able to see this at all right now. It's okay, go ahead. You're okay. He can't see you. There goes the photon cannon. Here come the Lings, though. Looks like he did figure it out. And down it goes, so great defense there from Goku. But a good try there from AppleJack. I think it came down to when he moved that probe out, the Overlord, this Overlord was just barely in position to see it, and so he did come check it out. So nice play there from Goku. AppleJack now going to have to rely on his wall here, which looks really good. He made it pretty nice and tight. There's one small spot here, obviously, where he is going to have to be careful. He needs to put a probe there right now to block this for the moment, because here comes Zerglings and a whole bunch at that. Goku, get in there, brother. This is your best bet at this point. Go for it, man. I think, yep, he is going to go in and should be just fine taking out these units. Oh, he's not even going to go for that. He's just going to go straight up here for the kill at the main. Not a bad deal. Going to kill a lot of probes here. A lot of damage being dealt, that's for sure. Looks like he may just cruise around here and just take structures out for just a little while, which I think is nice. He's going to put his opponent back on one base. Did skirt those photon cannons in pretty nice style. Notice that we do have some zealots cruising out on the map. Oh my goodness, pulling probes to deal with this. I don't agree with this at all. Don't agree with it. I don't think he should be pulling probes at this point to try and deal with these guys. Just let the... Oh, let's see. Look how many probes he's losing here, and is going to lose that zealot as well. And down goes all of the probes. Oh my goodness. Goku doing so much damage with so few units. It's just phenomenal. And AppleJack now in absolute dire straits here. Just check the units tab. Notice that he's only got 8 harvesters right now. 26 for Goku. Oh my goodness. Brutal, brutal play here from Goku. Does take out that main nexus. Is going to destroy this pylon. Keeping these guys alive. He's being very, very careful with these units, but super cost effective as well. Notice that he is floating a lot of minerals here. Could be a little bit better, I think, on that. But he's performing a lot of micro, so I mean, I guess we can decide, we probably know why. But the nice thing is he's done enough damage where he can feel free to float a couple minerals here and there at this point. So all in all, really, really solid play here from Goku thus far. Now, AppleJack not giving up quite yet, is going to go ahead and wall this off. Nope, it's not tight yet. Not tight, but he is going to be getting his cyber core down in pretty decent time. We still have 5 lings in the base. Looks like they are going to die now. And down they go to the zealots. Yeah, kid, you're right, but we got to remember that this is silver and bronze level of play, and it is a little bit more difficult for them to do both at the same time. Yeah, it's novice. There you go, Tiny Spider. So I think all in all, Goku's done a really great job here. He does have another wave of lings cruising out across the field here. Oh, we do need a pause for a moment. But, yeah, I mean, Goku in such great shape. Notice he's at 24 drones to 16 probes at this point. And still maintaining a solid lead there. Going to be going for, I think, another potential run by here. But Goku wanting some feedback here. We'll give it to him after the game, that's for sure. But all in all, great play right now from Goku. Seems to be in phenomenal shape. Looks like he is going to be gearing up for a third. Notice he does have an Overlord here for placement. For vision, I should say. Good stuff here from AppleJack, though. Needs to get that wall blocked. The last thing he wants is for these lings to run into the base again. That would be brutal. And if I were Goku, I would try for it. Going to be sending out a zealot here, but notice that this lane's still wide open. He's really got to get these lings in there, I think, at this point. Oh. That guy not going to last much longer. And I would love to see Goku run in here. AppleJack really making a mistake by not blocking this off. And look at this. These guys not on hold position either. So that is not good. He really... Oh, there he goes. He's got him on hold now. Does have him on hold. So that's exactly what he needs. But that will keep these lings out now. But if you don't do that, then you can expect to have run-bys. And most Zerg players will test you. And just to see if they can get in, they absolutely will. Because they are so much more effective when they have free reign behind your defense line here. And yeah, so good stuff. But looks as though the third gone down for Goku in pretty decent time. Units tab does show that he is up to 36 drones to 25 probes. Probably going to keep continuing that trend there, I would assume. Hatchery is going to be complete here in just a moment too. So tech here for Goku is pretty solid. Notice that we do have a Nidus network, and looks like he is going to be getting behind that mineral line here yet again. Does have a Spire out on the field as well. Roach Warren, so he's got good tech pattern so far. And here comes the Nidus Worm, not going to be scouted here. A second one too, look at that. That's crazy train. Here come the Lings. Looks like there is plenty of them. And nice control so far from Goku. Is going to be just taking out the stuff here on the high ground. Going to be keeping his opponent on one base. I love it. Here comes all the probes from AppleJack. And there's the GG. Does not feel like he can hold on. I don't disagree with him there. Wonderful, wonderful play from Goku. So thank you so much, guys, for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We're going into Game 2 here in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG Xel'Naga Caverns. It is Game 2 in tonight's finals, this best-of-5 finals between AppleJack and Goku. It is our Novice tournament, the arena, and we are having a good old-fashioned time here. That's play from Goku in game number 1, so very strong. I loved the run-by. I loved the amount of damage that he did against his Forge Fast expanding opponent there, and then the Nidus network. Beautiful, beautiful play. All in all, AppleJack just having a lot of trouble with that really aggressive Goku there in that game. So see if he's going to remedy that here on this much smaller map. Now, right off the bat, I do not like the pylon placement number 1. I don't like people who wall off with pylons. You want to try and keep your pylons in the back and use your buildings that have a lot higher HP for the wall off, and it tends to be a lot more effective. So I don't think that that's going to work in his favor here. Hopefully he'll at least wall off where he can block it with a zealot, which will really make his wall off that much more effective. But we'll see how that's going to go. AppleJack gearing up for a building. We'll see what his placement's going to be. This is kind of a tense moment because if see, this is a bad placement. Bad placement here. He's going to have to now use another building to block this off, and it's just difficult to place one here and still be able to block it with one zealot. So we'll see how that's going to go for him. We'll check back in on his wall in just a moment. Notice the spawning pool going down for Goku in pretty decent time. He does have his extractor down as well. Looking pretty solid. Units tab does show that it's even numbers right now on the harvester count, though. So we're all looking pretty good, pretty happy, pretty solid. Do have the gas going down for AppleJack in decent time. Not cutting pro production at all and saturating his gas right away. So nice stuff there from him. Does have his second pylon going down in a pretty decent position. I would have since you're going to use a pylon here, I would have put the pylon right there, and then you could put a zealot right here. And so this wall off, absolutely ineffective right now. Absolutely ineffective. I would just, and Tiny Spider saying do a roach rush, I would actually just go mass Zerglings at this point. As soon as I scouted this, if I were a Zerg player, I would just mass Lings, because AppleJack going to have absolutely a brutal time trying to hold that off unless he's chrono boosting out a whole bunch of zealots, which obviously he's not going to be doing. He did go straight for his cybercore tech. So I don't know. I mean, this is really a tough situation, I think, for AppleJack, and I would not doubt it if Goku did just go mass Lings as soon as he scouts this front door. So we'll see if that's going to happen. AppleJack really, really needs to consider changing the way that he walls off here. There, that's not bad. I mean, now he can put this zealot right here. No, you got to put him in the right position. Right there. Forward just a little. Forward just a little. He's not blocking it right now, so yeah. And he's not even on hold position either, so it wouldn't really matter. I mean, Zerglings, if they want to get into this base, are going to get in at this point. So I think AppleJack could be in a little bit of trouble here, but notice that Goku is going for an early hatchery, so may not be going for a run by quite yet, but he is getting that Zergling speed out and going to have a couple Lings out on the field already, and he does poke down here with this Overlord to see a wall off not going super well, so could potentially try it. We'll see if he is or not. Here come the Lings right now. Looks like they're going to blind this tower here in just a moment. Oh, nope, they're on move command. Always a move, ladies and gentlemen. Always a move. Yep. Oh yeah. See, another great point from Kid. Look how many Lings can attack that gateway. I mean, he can get almost a full-on surround on this gateway. All 6 of them plus more could be attacking this gateway right now. And the Stalker going to have to, I mean, he'll be able to pick at these guys a little bit, but not tons. Now we should see Goku probably go ahead and back out and wait for a couple more and try and get in here. Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a tough situation here, I think, for AppleJack. But he does have his 4 gate complete. in pretty decent time. Going to start warping in units, so Goku probably going to have to fall back, I think, at this point. All in all, pretty decent defense, especially considering this botched up Wallin that he built here for us. So, but a good amount of Zealots now, absolutely going to be a great counter there to a mass of Lings, and off they go back to the main. Let's check in on the units tab. Notice that Goku did stall probe or drone production at 17. Needs to get back on top of his drone production. Needs to get a queen out here at the natural. Does have one on the way. Appears to be 50% complete. This one going to be happily injecting larva. We need to see him drone up just a little bit here and then put down some static defense to defend this 4-gate, because he did scout the 4 gates. It's time for him to build some defense, because a 4-gate, even if you do scout it, can be difficult to hold off as Zerg. So, I mean, you really either need a bunch of roaches or you need some static defense. Notice that he is getting his roach horn here, but it is a little bit late. AppleJack going to be cruising out across the field here with a pretty decent force, and that is a lot of zealots here. So he's absolutely going to need, there we go, spine crawlers is a good choice here, as well as getting those roaches. Hopefully he'll be able to get some in time. It looks as though AppleJack taking his time to move out across the field here. Going to be putting down a forward pylon as a middle spot, and then going to take his time to move forward, which is definitely giving Goku the time he needs to build the defenses up that are going to help him make it through this attack. But AppleJack could be very, very strong here for just a moment. Yeah, Kid does say that the Roach Horn is late. I absolutely agree. It does appear to be extremely late. But here comes the attack. We do have plenty of spine crawlers, but look at this. AppleJack making a very, very wise move here. Going to go ahead and skirt the spine crawlers, go straight into the main. Too many Lings dying there. That is for sure. And this defense here for Goku not going super well right now, that's for sure. AppleJack could be gearing up to take game number 2 because of this. I think some bad planning there from Goku. Yeah, that's brutal. That is brutal, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I think a good game here from AppleJack. Nice methodical play. I would like to see a better wall off in the future from him, though. A little bit faster to the wall off than that. That could potentially kick him in the rear. Bite him in the rear if he's not careful about that. I mean, some Zerg players will absolutely punish you for making mistakes like that. So, but I don't know why AppleJack backing out here with those units. He just needs to consolidate his units at this point, and he should be in decent shape. But he is going to be putting Goku back on one base here for sure. Here come the roaches, going to try and take out this stalker, and going to be working on the zealots here as well. Decent kiting here from Goku. Trying to be as cost effective as he can at this point, which I think is a very, very wise move. Units tab going to be 10 though. 10 harvesters right now is brutal. Oh my goodness. Brutal. And yeah. Probes here. 9 more. Looks to be in great shape. I would continue this 4-gate attack. He does have a whole bunch of units cruising in here right now. Looks like they are going to brutalize the roaches first. And there's the GG from Goku, so good stuff there. We'll be going into Game 2 here in just a bit. Don't alt-tab, always don't Starcraft. We'll see you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is going to be on GSL's Terminus SE. As we all know, SE stands for the Spanish edition? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what it is? But we do have cross positions here. Goku is going to be our purple Zerg at the 3 o'clock. At the 9 o'clock, we do have AppleJack as our red Protoss. We'll see if he's going to go for another Forge Fast Expand. I think Forge Fast Expand on this map better than even on Shakuras Plateau. Well, maybe not better, but definitely just as effective. He does need to execute it just a little bit better, though. Is potentially... Nope, is not. No Forge Fast Expand here from AppleJack. That's okay, though. One base play, not bad either for the early game. So Goku is going to be probably working on, I would assume, a fast expand, though. Probably hatch first is my guess. We'll see if that's the case here in just a minute. A kid says it is Spanish edition. That's funny. Cool. So AppleJack working now on his wall off here. He does have his gateway going down in pretty decent time. Notice we don't have anything from Goku quite yet. Is going to be going for his expand. Hatch first. Got to love that. They're at 13, 14 supply. So not a bad deal there. 14 hatch. And Goku going to be working on what appears to be some more drones, which is not a bad idea. In the meantime, we do have an assimilator gone down for AppleJack. Does have that gateway about to complete. Looks like he is poised and ready to go ahead and toss down a cyber core. Probably in this position right here, I would assume, and then use a zealot to block right there. Should work fairly well. And we'll see how he's going to perform that. But I do like this standard wall off a lot better than what he did for us in that last game. Notice Goku's expansion here looks to be 50% complete. Spawning pool going down in pretty decent time here as well. Looks to be in great shape. Units tab shows 15 and 15 on the harvester count. Not bad at all. No zealot queued up quite yet for AppleJack. Maybe just a little bit slow on that. Needs to get that sucker queued up. Super important to have your first zealot come out in good time just in case your opponent is going to get some zerglings in your base. Could be brutal. But we do have some more chronos going down on the Nexus, so he's really working on his economy here, which is kind of interesting. And nothing. There we go. We do have warp gate tech on the way. Not a bad deal, but still no zealot. I really would like to see a zealot. Notice we do have a probe kicking it over here in this hidden position, but it did get scouted there by Goku, so that's kind of interesting. And he knows to be looking for any proxy type pylons or anything now, just in case. So good scouting there from Goku. Hope that he will keep track of that. Notice that he did go ahead and send a drone out to deal with it. That's amazing. I love this play. Looks as though AppleJack is going to lose his probe. So good stuff there from Goku. Got to love that. And we do finally have a zealot out on the field, as well as this warp gate tech being chrono boosted out. Do have triple gates at this point. Don't see a fourth quite yet. Is he going to put down a fourth? Yes, he is. It is going to be a 4 gate here, folks. And units tab shows he is at 19 probes. Is he going to cut probe production here? Looks like he may here at 20. Not a bad deal. And another chrono going down on the cyber core. So good stuff there. And yep, did absolutely cut probe production. I think is a wise move if you're going to 4 gate. Going to try and put some pressure on his opponent now. So we should see him send out a probe here in just a moment and go ahead and build a forward pylon. You absolutely need a forward pylon on a map this big. You cannot 4 gate on this map without a proxy location because it's just so big. You can't reinforce fast enough. And Zerg can reinforce very, very quickly at their base and should be able to hold you off if you don't have that forward pylon. So it makes a big difference here. He's going to be putting one down right here at his choke, which, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe he's going to go for a big 4 gate push, maybe a couple warp-ins before he moves out or something like that. But I really, really think that the best thing to do here is to go for a forward pylon right away. He is going to be sending out this probe with his army, which I think is smart. Hopefully he will be able to get that down in decent time, but this 4 gate attack is going to be just a little bit late here. Did get one of his stalkers stuck here. That's a little bit sad. He needs every unit that he can at this point, but warping in a couple units here and there needs to get this attack going. I don't like him leapfrogging forward here like this and building pylons all over the map. You really want to keep it small. Just one pylon forward, very, very close to your opponent's base, and see him building another pylon here. He's wasting a lot of time as he's moving forward here, which is going to give Goku a great time to build up some defenses. And notice what he's got here ready and waiting for defense. It is going to be triple spine crawlers, 5 million roaches, and at the ready for Zerglings galore. Look at how many larvae are out on the field here right now for Goku. So units tab shows that he is even Steven with his opponent's economy, but he does have that double base, which will enable him to stay mining here for just a little bit longer. And AppleJack going to have to get moving here on his attack. Still leapfrogging forward here with pylons, and I just disagree with that. Is going to supply block his opponent here, though. Now that could hurt Goku here pretty hardcore. Especially now that AppleJack has got a very, very large mass of zealots, and he needs to get a lot more defense in. Goku's really, really going to suffer if he cannot get some more units on the field. Does fix that here pretty quick, but got to get a couple more Zerglings, I think, is really what's going to make the difference, and try and let the Zerglings focus down these Stalkers. But such a long delay here, and I mean, Kid saying it out there on the live stream. He's prolonging this attack and giving Goku every bit of time that he needs to build up defenses. And look what we've got. We've got more spine crawlers going down. 5 spine crawlers here are going to be extremely difficult to break through, especially with this number of roaches. The roaches can really tank this damage. I think that AppleJack has lost his window of opportunity with a 4-gate here. So here we go. Here comes the attack. Looks like it is go time here. Oh, and AppleJack backing out, which I think wrongly so. Now, what is he doing with these stalkers? Oh, he's just going to try and harass, try and pull his opponent out away from the spine crawlers. There we go. That's not a bad play. I just don't think Goku going to fall for it here, and that's really, really going to work against AppleJack as we move forward. Notice the range on these spine crawlers is 7, 6 on these stalkers. And so, I mean, these spine crawlers, absolutely Goku wants to engage at his spine crawlers. Don't think he's going to make the mistake of pushing out until he's got a much larger army. Now, AppleJack's still in a holding pattern, but behind this holding pattern he has expanded. Now that's a nice transition. And notice that he is probing up. These guys both probing up and droning up just a little bit. Goku beating him to the punch there just a little bit. I do think that his static defense will hold here, so he has got absolutely no reason to not be working on his economy at this point. So really, really nice play from Goku. In the meantime, he does have a Hydralisk Den on the way. Now this is a super smart move, because guess what? Hydras are great and super effective against gateway units. And it looks like AppleJack is going to be backing out here to cater to his economy. He's got to get this saturated here. I do expect that Goku will be pushing out and taking care of forward pylons. Really, really smart move here. Going to try and cost his opponent as much as possible at this point. Going to hit this tower. We'll see another one. See, this is another problem with leapfrogging forward this way, is now he's going to lose. That's the second pylon. That's 200 minerals right now that he's wasted and got absolutely 0 done with that. So cruising forward here, I think Goku should be super, super happy to find yet another pylon to destroy absolutely for free. And a third pylon will go down here. And I don't think it's time for him to push this attack. I do think that AppleJack could hold on here. Pretty decent style. I would like to see Goku go ahead and break down these destructible debris and take an expansion, get himself on 3 base. Let's just check the units tab. Notice he's at 34 drones to 30 probes. I think in great style right now economically, but he did supply block his opponent here for a little while, and that is hurting that production here for AppleJack pretty good. So nice that he's building a whole bunch of pylons, but a little bit of a mistake earlier in the game with that leapfrogging forward of pylons there. Now, if I were Goku, I would be saying, I think I'm ahead in this match. I think I want a macro up here. I think I want a tech up here, and I think he's doing a great job. Notice that he does have the groove spines. +1 range on those Hydras, going to be super effective. The Hydras will be a little bit safer because of that. The Roaches can go forward, tank the damage, and Hydras in the back as the Zerg machine gun, and going to make it happen. So, oh, look at this. Double Evo chambers here from Goku as well. Not a bad deal. He may even go for this off 2-base play, but I think he needs a macro hatch, and there's no reason to get a macro hatch when you have this free third. So go take out the destructible debris. Make it happen. I think it's time for a third base, especially at 14 minutes. And, yeah, and then I think he could go for a push shortly thereafter. He needs to mass up just a few more units, but look at these units. I mean, look at that. A lot of units here. He's probably going to wait for +1/+1 to complete, but before he really pushes out. But not all in all, not bad. But see, that's what I'm saying. In the meantime, he's really got to go for that expand. Yeah, Tiny Spider says get a 4th too, which I agree. I mean, at this point, the Zerg player has got to feel like he's got free reign on this map. It's like he can do whatever he wants. He's not being countered at all. Notice he did take out those destructible debris, so he is going to be gearing up for at least his 3rd. But yeah, I think Tiny Spider's absolutely right. Go ahead and take your 4th. I mean, AppleJack not putting the appropriate amount of pressure on his opponent. There's no reason for Goku to not be expanding at will at this point, and just overrunning his opponent as we move forward into the late game, because it is well on its way, ladies and gentlemen. We do have that +1/+1 on the way right now for Goku, and that absolutely going to be serving him well. We do see an observer cruising out across the field here, going to gather a little bit of intel. However, that is going to also indicate to Goku what kind of tech pattern we've got here. Now, neither player really doing tons of scouting here, except for AppleJack. I have to take it back. I mean, AppleJack does have an observer here, but Goku should see that, should know that there's an observer in his base, and that's going to mean that he knows that there's a robo out on the field. So, good stuff there, which means don't overcommit to the Hydras. It's time to start potentially tech switching to your late game, which is, I guess in this case, is probably going to be Broodlords. So probably start getting that Spire up, start to make that happen. We do have some Colossus coming out on the field here. And looks as though AppleJack gearing up for a third. And a nice thing for AppleJack here is that he's been left alone as well. And now taking a third for a Protoss is going to be very, very, very difficult for Goku to deal with unless he's got so much more economy. He's really got to have a whole bunch of bases. 3 bases here for Goku, not the correct number at this point. So Goku, I think, making a little bit of an error here, and it could come into play. Notice that Goku is getting out a Spire here. I would like to see him tech to Broodlords. I think that's probably where he's headed with this, since he does know that there is that Robo out on the field. So here comes the third for AppleJack, but he noticed the army size of these guys. It's really, really quite nice. Gonna try and get that built. There it goes. There it goes. We do have double forges here. Notice that he doesn't have any upgrades from them quite yet, so a little bit of a waste of 300 minerals there, I would say. But, oh, looks like he's got them selected. He's waiting on his gas. Got to get this one saturated. He's going very gas heavy here, so he really has no reason to not have this saturated. A little bit of a misclick here and there. Is costing him a lot of time here. Notice that he is supply blocked here again, unable to be producing this Colossus. And this, I mean, it's little things like this that are starting to add up and really, really work against AppleJack. Now, Goku securing his 4th base. I like this quite a bit. I would like to see him go ahead and max out an army here. He's got the wherewithal to do so, I believe, so make it happen. Notice he does have a whole bunch of resources. I don't like seeing AppleJack floating these resources. As Protoss, you cannot float resources unless you're on like 5 base or something, but 3 base, there's no reason for a Protoss player to be floating minerals, so got to be working on spending that economy out. Goku in decent shape here. They can macro just a little bit faster for their army, but notice that he does have a whole bunch of corruptors now out on the field, and which is not a bad play here. That will definitely help negate those Colossus, but I would like to see him get that Greater Spire out. I think is probably his best bet at this point. No Greater Spire quite yet, but he is working on the Hive just now, so that will open up that tech pattern to the Greater Spire. Yeah, a kid out on the live stream said it exactly right. You can't float money until you're maxed, at which point you shouldn't be turtling. So he's really right. I mean, even our Zerg player here should not be floating this much minerals and gas. So yeah, you just need more hatcheries. You need to be building units and throwing away armies or something. But here comes a very, very large push from AppleJack, and quite frankly should go well because Goku, I just don't think he's spent enough time working on those upgrades and getting this army into the correct position to deal here. And I see he's going to sack this base, which is a bad choice. Yeah, sacking the base. He is going to try and defend back here at his spine crawlers. But I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a difficult position for him to be in. Here comes the attack. Now, 4 of these Colossus in this army. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Do not back up beyond your spine crawlers, though, Goku. You've got to engage here. Do not let your spine crawlers die. Do not let your spine crawlers die. You've got to be engaging. Okay, so, I mean, that could be a mistake here. And if he does lose these spine crawlers, I mean, he can consider this a GG. He's got to be utilizing these spine crawlers. It's time to engage here. Here comes the attack. I mean, Goku doing a pretty decent job getting in decent position. Spine crawlers coming into play there, taking out that front line, but AppleJack just has got way too much to deal with. And AppleJack really, I mean, I think he should be able to take this game down right here, right now, to be honest. I mean, he did clear out all the Colossus. Now, if he does macro up just enough units behind this, he should be okay, but Goku made a mistake by not getting that army maxed out as fast as he could have. He had way too many minerals sitting around. No reason to not have this his army maxed out, and this should have gone a lot differently. Should have gone a lot differently. It looks as though AppleJack should be able to clean this up and go ahead and take down game number 3, which will make him 2-1. You can see Goku trying to pull drones here to make it happen and everything. He's pulling out all the stops, but I mean, even if he holds this attack off, AppleJack is going to be coming at him yet again with, I assume, another very, very large army. But, I mean, look at this mineral floating, though. That's bad news, guys. Never, ever float minerals in these games. I mean, look, if you're even well, okay, if you're not maxed out, like Kid says, you shouldn't be floating minerals. You shouldn't. You should be You should always have your maximum amount of army with the bare minimum of minerals, and then you can start floating minerals behind that. But I mean, it is what it is. It takes a lot of work to make that happen, and we do see Goku building up a pretty decent Roach army here. But there's just going to be so much Colossus out on the field here. Notice we did finally get +1/+1 out for AppleJack. No more upgrades quite on the way yet. But more gateways going down. Looks as though he is Chrono boosting out more of these Colossus. Bunch of gateways going down. Looks to be in pretty decent shape. I don't think AppleJack has any reason to lose this game. It's going to come down to him making a big mistake. But he should cruise out here, I think, just a little bit. This is a nice-looking army. Let's just check in on the units lost tab. Notice that Goku did lose quite a bit more, and it's going to make a big difference. But in the meantime, I mean, AppleJack's still letting him get away with being stuck on 3 base here. Now, notice we do have a couple macro hatches here for Goku, which is not a bad idea, but really what he needs is to just take the bottom or top side of the map. I'd probably take the bottom, but it is what it is. I mean, here he goes. Here comes yet another attack here from AppleJack. AppleJack should be able to take it down here this time. I just don't see this force here being quite big enough to defend. Here comes AppleJack. Looks like he should be in great shape. A lot of roaches here. AppleJack just needs to be careful to keep his army together. Did move those stalkers in first, which is a bad idea. But looks like the roaches skirting around the side here, focusing down the Colossus, was a great idea there from Goku. Oh wow, he got +2/+2 out. That's what the big difference is here. Goku should go counterattack like right now is his best bet. He really needs to be pumping roaches out at maximum speed. Man, I am really upset with AppleJack for losing this, potentially losing this game. He had absolutely no reason to lose this. Just bad planning, I think, in some of those attacks, especially in that first big attack. But we do need to see somebody make something happen here. Goku's got a great opportunity. He should be moving out across the map here. There's only a couple stalkers here to deal with. I mean, the roaches should be just fine against those stalkers. There is just one Colossus out on the field right there. This should be fairly easy for Goku to clean up. Notice that he is producing a lot of roaches behind this, and he does have Broodlords now out on the field. The Broodlord's going to be super effective. And going to take out the Colossus here. And probably start morphing into Broodlords here right away, I would. But he's just letting them die to the stalkers. Use the corruption ability is really powerful. Well, oh my goodness. I mean, just a couple mistakes, you know. I mean, but I think just not enough ground forces there. But he needs to have these turn into Broodlords closer before he attacks. And okay, I mean, he's going to get a bunch of Broodlords now. And I think Goku's still definitely ahead in this matchup, but there's definitely a lot of back and forth. And each player giving their opponent every opportunity to come back in this matchup. I mean, Goku right now giving his opponent the opportunity to come back here. AppleJack is going to be securing his another third mining base, his 4th total, out here in the center of the map. Not a bad idea. He does need to stay in position to guard it and continue bringing units into this game, but is going to be going for mass ground now, working on some Immortals. And that's not a bad idea. The Immortals extremely effective against those roaches. So, but yeah, Goku really needs to make this happen here in just a little bit. He's got plenty of Broodlords to do it. I mean, my goodness, go make it happen. And you don't really need all of these roaches essentially, but it's nice to have a good ground army, and he should be just fine. I mean, I would cruise out here if I were him. Go. I mean, go. Look, he's almost maxed out. Go ahead and make it happen. Don't wait too long, that's for sure. But look at this. I mean, nice looking army now from AppleJack. Going to be cruising out to the center of the map here. And these guys going to cruise across the map. So AppleJack looking to be the aggressor here. which is strange. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, there's just a little bit of mistakes here between these guys so far, but here comes the main attack. The Broodlord's going to be doing a lot of damage, going to keep these guys pinned down. Look at that Broodling soaking up a lot of that damage. The Roaches being able to have free reign here on this army. Broodlord's coming in extremely handy right now. Looks as though AppleJack doesn't quite know how to deal with them. Now we should see Goku push, push, push here. I don't know why he's not maxed out. I don't know what he's waiting on to go ahead and max out his army. He's been at 177 supply here for way too long. He's got to make this happen. I mean, just max out your army. I mean, my goodness. There we go. We do have him pretty close at this point, but still with way too many minerals to not be maxed. Just needs a little bit better inject larva, I think, at this point. And here he comes. He's going to be denying the space. Not bad. And this should be game for Goku. There's no reason why he shouldn't win here. Here comes the attack, though, from AppleJack. And notice that the Broodlords are slightly out of position. Going to keep them in pretty decent style, though, at this point. Looks like there's not enough AA too close to him. So, nice looking attack here. Goku trying desperately now to get that done. Should be just fine. I mean, these Immortals are going to take down a lot of Roaches here, but you can see this army of our Protoss player evaporating very, very quickly, and there's the GG from AppleJack. So great game from Goku. That will take us to game number 4, where it will be match point for Goku. So don't alt-tab, always alt-Starcraft. We'll see you guys in the next game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is going to be on MLG Shakuras Plateau. Welcome to the finals, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Novice Arena Alt Starcraft's tournament. We're having a good old-fashioned time here. Goku versus AppleJack. Now, Goku did take down that win in the last game, which is going to make it 2-1. Game point here for Goku. So if he can take this one down, he's going to be in phenomenal shape. And AppleJack got to make a comeback here. Got to take 2 games in a row to pull this out. And, yeah. Should be good. Goku is going to be our purple Zerg, though. In the top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner, we do have AppleJack, a orange Protoss. And relatively close air positions, if you will give Goku the opportunity to get that Overlord into place. It is going to be a Forge Fast Expand here from AppleJack. Now, considering that his first Forge Fast Expand on this map failed, I would be careful during the execution of this Forge Fast Expand here. So be careful. You don't want these Forge Fast Expands to fail against the Zerg. If they do get into your base, it can be absolutely brutal. So I know a lot of people, even in like Diamond and Master, that when they do a Forge Fast Expand, they just wall it off tight. Don't even mess with it. Just wall it off tight as fast as possible. And then macro, and pick your tech pattern based on some scouting, and you should be good to go. But looks like AppleJack did scout his opponent here, is going to have his Forge down in decent time. Let's just watch the units tab for a moment. Notice that they are even on the worker count, and we should see, though, AppleJack here in just a bit take the lead on that. Spawning pool going down for Goku in pretty decent time. Notice he is going for what appears to be, what was it, a 13 pool or 14 pool maybe? And no expansion quite yet. He does have his Overlord in place should he decide to. But the the Forge Fast Expand here for AppleJack does not have a cannon quite yet. Could potentially go for some Lings in the base here. AppleJack going to be going for, look at this, going for his, what is this now, 17? It's different than what he did before. It was 15 before, but 17 Nexus here. So 17 Nexus, kind of interesting. Going to get it down in fairly decent time. I like 17 better than 15, that's for sure, but I prefer 18 Nexus on a Forge Fast Expand. And then and that's only if you're getting good scouting in. And from his scouting, he should have said, you know what, I better go ahead and get down my Photon Cannon, because he did go pool first. So one of those things. Another pylon going down here. I don't like him using the pylons. It does make him susceptible to a Baneling bust. Photon Cannon, though, going down here finally. Here at the 4-minute mark, we do have a probe, or a drone rather, cruising out across the map, as well as 4 Lings. Is he going to go for some Ling bust? Does not look like he does only have 2 more Lings in production. There goes an inject larva. But here come the Lings. I don't think they're going to be able to get in. Looks like this Forge Fast Expand did go down pretty well. Oh, he is going to get in. He didn't wall it off tight. And up to the high ground with only 2 lings. These guys aren't going to be able to get anything done unless AppleJack just makes an error in his micro, but yeah, I agree with Kid. So generally speaking, you shouldn't go Nexus first, especially if you do scout, you know, the gas from your Zerg opponent and the spawning pool first from your Zerg opponent. You really need to play it safe. So 2 lings did get in here. They are cruising around here trying to just be pesky, and should be pesky here for just a little while. But oh, he's gonna lose him. Dead. A little bit of miss micro there from Goku. So these Zerglings not being super effective. I've seen guys at high level of play get a lot done with 2 lings, but it's just difficult to do. It takes an insane amount of micro, a lot of good control, and you have to be macroing behind it as well. So looks like this Zergling's probably going to die here in just a moment. But yeah. That probe's got 1 kill. He's feeling like a boss right now. But we do finally have an expansion going down for Goku. Goku looks to be in pretty decent shape. If I were him, scouting that wall there, I would say Banelings. And Banelings would be super, super effective here. Either that or even mass Speedlings at this point. Could still work because he doesn't have it blocked off yet. Still could just run right into the space, and with only 1 cannon there, he could kill the cannon very, very quickly. And that could be a GG. I do like to see aggressive play from our Zerg players against a Forge Fast expanding Protoss, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, good stuff. We do have this probe about to die. We do not have metabolic speed boost on the field yet for Goku. Notice he hasn't even started researching it yet. There it goes. Just as I say that, of course. But he does have his expand now up and running. Units tab going to show 37 probes for AppleJack, 18 for Goku. Goku in absolute bad position at this point. He's got to mount an attack, and he's late on quite a few things. I do think that this could absolutely work against him. AppleJack definitely ahead at this point, and with a 2 base Forge Fast Expand play here, I mean, he could be in great shape. Notice he does have a Twilight Council going down in pretty decent time. Probably going to see some DTs out of him, I would guess, at this point, which is not a bad idea. He's noticed in the gameplay that, at least he should have, that his opponent fairly slow on getting detection out. So Twilight Council complete. Is he going to go for any of that tech? Maybe. Does have 4 gas up and running. Needs to get those suckers saturated, though. Pretty good. It's going to be Blink here. Wow, interesting play here from AppleJack. I do like Blink against Zerg, especially if you got good Blink micro. Now, I don't know if AppleJack's quite got the micro to make it super effective, but he could also use it just to get himself in a better position, like, say, up in his opponent's main or something. That could be really, really fun to see. There's going to be more gateways here, it appears, and that is all for tech at this point. He is going to be getting out weapons level 1, which is a good choice against Zerg. Not too bad. We do have a couple lings here for Goku. Goku going to be working on his economy. Notice he's got that gap closed just a little bit. 41 to 49 at this point. Not a bad deal there. Looks pretty solid. What can I say? We do have a Hydralisk Den now out on the field. That can be very, very effective. As well as a Roach Warren on the way. So nice tech pattern here from Goku. Would like to see a nice mass of these guys cruise out in good time, though. Don't wait too long until your opponent gets on Colossus tech or something like that. So the last thing you want is to have to deal with Colossus with a Roach Hydra army. But, I mean, you can still make it happen. It just takes a little bit of extra micro and a little bit of upgrades. Gotta have upgrades. But AppleJack absolutely in phenomenal shape at this point. Bunch of stalkers here going to be on the high ground, not down here defending or anything. He's keeping that tech hidden. He doesn't have a robotics out, so he cannot send out an observer to scout the high ground, which is going to make the blink a little bit less effective here, potentially. But he could, I mean, there's no scouting here from Goku. Goku is putting down, however, a big spine crawler wall and getting some roaches out here for defense. So, blink stalkers, I don't know. I just don't know if this is going to be quite enough to break this wall. But he is going to be reinforcing it here just a little bit, but he got supply blocked yet again. Brutal, brutal, brutal. You don't want to be getting supply blocked when you're about ready to push. Just one of those things to keep in mind. Yeah, Goku does need to work on his army composition though here just a little bit. The big thing he's got right now is the spine crawlers, and that's about it. So other than that, I mean, he does have the roach speed as well as the +1 range on those hydras about to be complete, and so that's a scary army. But here comes the blink stalker attack. These guys can be cruising up into position. Not going to make it happen. Looks like they absolutely are going to have to back out there. AppleJack's going to have to transition. Now notice that he did take a third behind this. Now that was a smart choice. Beautiful play so far from AppleJack. Well, I mean, what can we say? Got to be proud of this guy at this point, especially when the pressure's on. He's got to go 2 games in a row here to win this tournament and take down those prizes. We do have a robotics facility going down for AppleJack. I think is a smart choice. He could either use that for Blink Stalker Harass or go straight for Colossus or both, which is probably a good idea. But Goku, is about time for him to expand here as well. He did hold that off in pretty decent time and in style, so he should go for an expand here. I think is a wise move. Is going to get out that missile attack level 1 here in just a moment, so looking pretty solid there. Still producing a lot of hydras. Now he's got to make an attack happen with those hydras. In my opinion, I think you don't want to sit around against a Protoss with a whole bunch of hydras. You've got to make it happen before they say, oh, well, if he's going to go mass hydras, I'm absolutely going to start pumping Colossus out, because Colossus just are such a good counter to those hydras that you just can't wait for that to happen. It's just one of those things. And I mean, this is another time where Goku's got to push out. One of these guys has got to get aggressive. Notice that AppleJack does have a forward position here, and Goku going to be pushing out. I think Goku would actually fare pretty well here, considering his +1 upgrade. Even though there is +1 on these guys already, and they're working on +2 for AppleJack, I still think that Goku's going to be in pretty decent shape. Hydras are so good against these stalkers. So good stuff there. Let's see if he is going to indeed cruise out here. Here comes the attack. Notice that these zealots in the back here not able to get in position. That blink freeing them up there, that was good play. But then they fall immediately as the stalkers are like, haha, fooled you, zealots, we're out of here. And they just beat it on out of there, and looks as though AppleJack may be in a little bit of trouble here. Yet again, I think AppleJack not pushing his timing attacks the way that he should. And look at this, Goku should be in pretty decent shape moving forward here, trying to blink out of the way up to the high ground here, but most of these guys are absolutely going to die. We should see Goku push straight to the wall here. The wall should fall extremely quickly, and there's just either that or go deny the third, but don't back out, Goku. Oh my goodness, don't back out. Are you kidding me? Backing out here is not a good idea. He really has got to push this attack. I think that he is just going to wait for a couple roach reinforcements, but don't wait too long, because then see, this is what happens if you wait too long. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I've got to just press this moment, because it's so important to know when to counterattack. You've got to be able to do that. That's what can win you the games and stuff like that. I mean, this is what makes your plays effective, is knowing when to counterattack and when to back out, etc. And finally, we're going to have a Colossus out on the field here, but the wall is already broken. Looks like AppleJack very, very late to this party. This was a perfect time for Goku to go ahead and push this attack. Notice that he is going to have these guys in great position. Does deny this second mining base here, but the Colossus is going to fall very quickly. It looks as though we've only got these Stalkers left on the field. The Stalkers not quite going to be enough to hold on here. We're going to be warping in quite a few more units. Looks like Goku should be able to clean this out pretty good. Taking them down one at a time is a great way to go. Got to love that. But that, oh wow, double Colossus now should be able to clean it up here in pretty decent time. Look at that splash damage making the difference. And I do think this is because Goku waited too long. He waited too long to go ahead and push that attack. And, I mean, now I still think Goku's in good position to potentially take this down. He does have his Corruptors out on the field. They're absolutely going to be able to counter these Colossus, but he's got to be macroing an army faster than this. He doesn't have enough bases at this point. He needs to get himself in position to take down this win. You cannot just throw away small armies here, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and give your opponent the opportunity to get back into this game, because that's what AppleJack is doing. Notice AppleJack securing his fourth, going to be retaking his second mining base here, retaking that natural. Great play here. AppleJack with now 3 Colossus on the field. Talk about a counter to this army that Goku has got here, except for obviously the Corruptors. The Corruptors the only thing working in Goku's favor at this point. But there's such a strong army here from AppleJack. Those Corruptors won't be able to take these Colossus out fast enough before these Colossus have done the damage to that ground army, and then all of a sudden you're going to have a whole bunch of Corruptors that may potentially be useless here. So Goku could be running out of his opportunities here, while AppleJack could be potentially taking the lead. We do need to see tons and tons of warp-ins here for AppleJack. He's got so much minerals. I mean, my goodness, warp in an entire army like right now and push out across the map. Never ever give your opponent the chance to come back in a matchup. I mean, I just can't stress that more than what we already have. But I mean, good play from Goku in a lot of respects. He did stall mining at this second base here for a little bit, but he didn't do the damage that he needed to, and that's because he waited too long. Never ever wait. If you're at your opponent's front door and you just killed their army, push in. What can I say? I mean, just push in. Just go. Just do it. Do it. But here comes the very, very large Colossus army here for AppleJack. And in the meantime, Goku going to be pushing forward here slowly, slowly, slowly. Take your time, take your time, take your time. And he is going to be pushing forward. He does have a pretty decent force, but it looks like there are a lot of Colossus here. And here come the Corruptors, going to start working on those Colossus right away. Always a move, AppleJack. Always a move. There he goes, getting right up in these guys' face. Should be able to obliterate this ground army of Goku's quickly, quickly, quickly. And now AppleJack should be taking the lead here. So what? There's Corruptors on the field. And all the Colossus do go down, but look, exactly what I said. AppleJack's going to have a very, very large ground army left over after that attack. And it's time for him to go start harassing this third. He doesn't want to let Goku take a third. Wants to keep Goku stuck on this 2 base. His main is just about mined out. And so get harassment. I mean, get some harassment going here if you're AppleJack. That's what you got to do to win at this point. He does not have his Greater Spire yet. I think Greater Spire would be good for Goku at this point. But just Corruptors in your army is not helpful. I mean, just what can I say? And look at this. We do have a transition for him. AppleJack going to be going for Immortals here. Super, super effective against those Roaches. And here come the Roaches. Looks like AppleJack probably going to have to back out of here. Don't engage. Back out, back out, back out. Blinking and trying to run away. And that's a pretty good idea. Get the rest of these. Oh, all of them. Get all of your units. Go ahead and engage, and here comes the rest of the warp-ins. Probably misplaced. Warp-in right here is better. Always be mindful of where your army is and where you need to be. You want to be warping in at good positions, but AppleJack really needs to go ahead and push into his opponent's either third or go straight for the kill here, I think is probably his best bet. I do like his transition into the Immortals. Get another warp-in, and it should be go time here for AppleJack, but I do like that he is on that 4th base now. Let's check the units tab, see where he's at. 64 probes to 55 drones. A great economic position for AppleJack. He does have that +2 upgrade, a +1 armor as well. Really, really helpful right here. And the nice thing is the Immortals are a great counter to Spine Crawlers here. Spine Crawlers do count as an armored unit. And guess what? Immortals do 60 damage with a +2 upgrade to armored units. So brutal. They can just rip through those suckers. It's super, super fast. Goku does need to work on getting his army up, because here comes the attack. No corruption ability being used. I would like to see Goku using at least his corruption ability out of these guys. Here comes the attack. I think AppleJack should fare very, very well in this attack. Do not back out. Okay, what's he doing? Going for the third is okay, but don't back out here. And get your units together. There we go. Up he goes, is going to deny the third here. Goku should be in a lot of trouble here, may even GG out of this game. But the third absolutely going to go down. Here comes the flank attack from Goku. Not quite going to be enough, especially since they are on the low ground there. No corruption ability still being used here at all. Would like to see that corruption ability, but here comes the Stalkers blinking forward here to push this attack. Notice that that base did go down. All AppleJack needs to do now is consolidate his forces and push up this ramp here, and he should be golden. Looking really, really, really solid. Yep, never let people come back. Man, thanks, kid. And really stress how you do that. You've got to know when it's a good time to attack. Now, it looks like Goku going for a counterattack here, which I find a little strange. Because he's going to get flanked, number one. As well as it's just not going to be effective. So, he just doesn't have enough units here for a counterattack. Okay, taking out some destructible rocks. I guess if you got to kill something, you got to kill something. But look at this humongous army for AppleJack. AppleJack really ought to just go ahead and push into his opponent's main here. I think it's going to be GG. Come on, AppleJack. You can do it, brother. AppleJack just about maxed out here. This army is absolutely going to destroy the spine crawler line here and going to be cruising up this ramp. Blinking some of these guys forward. He's got plenty back here to deal with that flank, so that looks really, really solid here, and that is GG, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt-tab, always alt Starcraft. We're going into Game 5. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live terminus action. I'm sorry, I was just kidding. We do have live tournament action coming at you on Terminus-Re. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's a very, very big map here for players who tend to go for a lot of macro. So we are potentially gearing up for another long game here. AppleJack is going to be our orange Protoss up here at the 12 o'clock position. Down here at the 6 o'clock, we do have Goku, our purple Zerg. Now, it is Game 5 in a best of 5, so tied up right now. A lot of back and forth between these players. A lot of things, I think, for them to learn. But all in all, really, really good play so far from both of these guys. And it's just been a wonderful tournament tonight, especially considering it's a bronze-silver tournament. You know, sometimes you expect for the plays to not be that strong, but really we see a lot of guys learning a lot of different things. It means that these guys have been out onto like Day 9 and Husky and all these other people that, you know, that help teach, and they must be kicking it on Team Liquid and stuff like that, but learning this game and just getting better at it, even down in the lower leagues. So it's really, really quite fun to see. We do have a fairly early scout here from AppleJack. Looks like he's going to be cruising around. Notice that he did put down his pylon up here on the high ground, so not going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand on this map, but that's okay. Gateway does go down in pretty decent time. In the meantime, we don't have anything from Goku quite yet. Is it going to be a spawning pool first? Yes, it is. So pool first and extractor right behind. And that's going to be tons of fun. Similar to going down in pretty decent time here for AppleJack. Notice that his gateway about to be complete. We should see his cybercore go down right behind. That's what we definitely want to see. Good solid wall offs from AppleJack is what we need. Spawning pool going to be complete here in just a moment. No hatchery quite yet from Goku. Not a big deal though. Looks like it may be one base play here. May be one base play. AppleJack does have his cybercore going down, but look at this. Incorrectly placed here. Now, I hope that Goku going to exploit this. Ladies and gentlemen, as Zerg, when you scout, which you do need to be scouting as Zerg, especially against your Protoss opponents, you need to look for this. If you see them make a mistake like this, he can't wall this off appropriately at this point. I mean, unless he puts like a pylon right here or something, then he could put his zealot in this position. But right now, I mean, this wall off is absolutely wide open. He is going to try and fix it, but it's still going to be too wide open. And there we go. That works right there. So that actually works just fine. However, I always disagree with using a pylon as a part of your wall, unless you're Forge Fast expanding on a big map or something like that. But I'm like, well, but yeah. As far as one base wall in, you should never use a pylon, because then it makes you susceptible to roach play very early. And we already do have a roach worn out for Goku, and it does appear that he is going to be going for a fairly early two-base roach push. which is not a bad play here, I think. I think it really could work in his favor, especially considering this pylon. He could punish his opponent for that. And 2 more gates going down, as well as the Stargate already down. So looks like it is going to be Stargate play here from AppleJack. He did get his double gas down fairly early, which is nice. He does have his warp gate tech on the way. Is going to be chrono boosting it out there. He has saved up a lot of chrono, but he's got plenty of chrono now. Stargate going to be complete here in just a moment. We do need to see Goku do some scouting, though, so that's a big thing for Goku at this point. Scouting here is so important against Protoss. You really need to know what they're doing. As a Zerg player, you got to know, because they have some very extremely strong plays that you just have to be prepared for. And if you're not, it can cost you the game. So good stuff to be scouting. He hasn't got that scouting intel quite yet. Let's just check in on his vision. Look, nothing. Doesn't know where his opponent is. Nothing. So got to be scouting. Got to be scouting. It's so very important. We do have Chrono Boost going down on this Void Ray. Looks like the first Void Ray about to pop. Could be sending this sucker out across the map here in just a moment. We'll see what else he's going to send behind it. Is it going to be another Void Ray? I hope so. I like Void Rays quite a bit. It is indeed. And Chrono going down on that sucker in pretty decent time, as well as an expand here for AppleJack. So this is very, very nice. Yeah, kid asking if whether it's a 3-gate Stargate. It is, which it's supposed to be 2 gates, but it's only supposed to be 2 gates, and the reason is because if you're going to be producing Void Rays, you cannot support 3 gateways. So off of 1 base. Now he is transitioning to his 2nd base, so he's probably going to be okay, but it's always a good thing to remember that if you're going to go Stargate, only put down 2 gateways. And that really you can really pump units out off of 2 gateways and a Stargate. And great time. Now we do have double Void Rays out on the field. A 3rd one about to be on the way. And a good scout here from AppleJack in the form of a Zealot. So be careful, though. You don't want to lose that guy. But is going to be cruising out across the field. Let's see what he sees. What's his vision? Whoops. He has scouted his opponent. He's just holding the tower. That's what he's doing. Good stuff, but we should see a push here from AppleJack in pretty short time, I think, is a wise move at this point. Go ahead and mix these guys into the army, I think is a smart move. Set up a forward pylon and go, because this is a very strong push from Protoss. Don't back out. I mean, my goodness, if you're going to push, push. If you're not going to push, then don't push. But don't, guys, when you're playing, don't get wishy-washy. You make your decisions and you stick with them. Wishy-washy costs you the game more often than not, because now he's just wasting time when he could have been moving those guys forward here, and he's deciding, well, I'm just going to push my air units. But you've just got to make your decisions on the fly. Quick, make it happen, because the quicker you can play, generally speaking, the better it will go for you. You've got to be able to make good decisions on the fly. Now, the problem is he's waited long enough where there are plenty of AA here, and it looks as though the air army is going to have to back out. Now, this would have been a good reason to keep your ground army with, because all of a sudden it would have been a different scenario for that air army. And Goku should be in great shape at this point. AppleJack going to have to really transition hard here, I think. Oh, we're going to lose some units here. Wow. Did lose 1 Phoenix there. It's not time to be harassing against these Hydras. I do think that once you got Hydras out on the field, your air units here, got to mix them into your army. You need to have a whole bunch of Zealots and a whole bunch of potentially some sentries if you can afford them. But, I mean, transition here is the best thing to do, but don't try and harass with these units at this point. I mean, you're just not going to be able to get it done with that many Hydras out on the field. Looks like Goku going to be pushing an attack, and I think this is an extremely wise move at this point. Let's just check the units tab real quick. Notice that Goku does have a slight economic disadvantage, but not by much. And the sad thing is that half of AppleJack's army is going to be out of position for this attack. Now we should see, he is scouting it, he should see backing up here right away. Now Goku's got to keep these units together, but absolutely has to be pressing this attack. So good scouting here from AppleJack. Looks like AppleJack going to cruise in here for the harass, which is not a bad idea either. Hopefully he will be able to hold on here as Goku pushes in. It could turn into a base trade type situation here. But all in all, not bad decision making there from AppleJack. He just may not have the correct answer to this. Does focus down that Nexus there very, very quickly. We do have plenty of Hydras cruising in here. It looks like they are going to clean this up. And now Goku in phenomenal shape. I do believe that this is going to be a GG here fairly soon. He's got so many units back here that he's just really going to be in great shape. Cruising up that ramp, not a fun situation to be in if your name is AppleJack, and going to be working right on these warp gates here. Brutal, 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 and there it is, GG. Great play from Goku. Got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for coming out. It's been a wonderful series tonight. Give high five to these guys. It's been great. But congrats to him. We will be taking home the cash prize as well as getting an hour of training with Art of Wars and Niter. So congratulations to him. See you guys next time. Don't alt tab. Always alt Starcraft.